Picture this. You're 34 years old. You've got a decent job, you're contributing to your 401k, you're doing everything the internet told you to do. Every paycheck, a little slice disappears before you even see it. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this quiet comfort, this idea that future you is going to be fine, taken care of, sorted. And then, one afternoon, completely by accident, you actually sit down and run the numbers. And you realize that the retirement you've been picturing in your head, the one with the lake house and the golf and the grandkids, is built on a number that doesn't exist. And the plan you've been faithfully following for a decade, it was never designed to get you there. That right there, that's the retirement myth nobody talks about. And today, we're going to dismantle it completely. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about retirement math and the psychological tricks that keep people broke even when they're doing everything right. If you're someone who's been checking the 401k box but quietly wondering if it's actually enough, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because what I'm about to tell you is going to fundamentally change how you think about the finish line. Here's the thing. The retirement conversation in this country has a massive, gaping hole in it, and it's not about contribution rates or investment strategies or Roth conversions. It's something way more uncomfortable than that. It's about the number itself, the target, and the fact that most people are aiming at the wrong one without even knowing it. Let me give you some context. According to Vanguard's 2023 How America Saves report, the median 401k balance for someone between the ages of 55 and 64, the people who are right there at the doorstep of retirement, is $87,571. Let that sink in for a second. The people closest to retirement have a median balance of under $90,000, and the financial industry keeps telling them they're on track. On track to what exactly? Here's what most people don't realize. The standard retirement advice, save 10 to 15% of your income, retire at 65, live happily ever after, was built on a set of assumptions that are decades old. It was built assuming Social Security would cover a huge chunk of your expenses. It was built assuming you'd spend significantly less in retirement than you do now. And it was built assuming you'd live, on average, to about 75. Now look, none of those things are reliably true anymore. Social Security's trust fund, according to the SSA's own trustees report, is projected to be depleted by 2033, at which point benefits get cut to roughly 77 cents on the dollar automatically by law unless Congress acts. Retirees today are living longer than ever. A 65-year-old couple today has roughly a 50% chance that at least one of them lives past 90. That's 25 years of retirement. And spending? Studies from the Employee Benefit Institute consistently show that healthcare costs alone rise sharply in your 70s and 80s, often wiping out whatever lifestyle deflation people expected. So the math doesn't work. And here's where it gets interesting, because the reason most people haven't noticed is deeply psychological. There's a concept called present bias. It's the brain's hardwired tendency to value things that are close and immediate over things that are distant and abstract. Retirement is the ultimate distant, abstract thing. Your 65-year-old self might as well be a stranger. And when you ask the human brain to sacrifice real, tangible dollars today for that stranger's benefit, the brain says, sure, fine, I'll put in my 6%, that's enough, I've done my part. The 401k system, ironically, exploits this perfectly. It makes saving feel like a completed action. You set it, you forget it, and your brain gets to check the box and move on. The problem is that checking a box and solving the problem are two very different things. Let me show you the actual math, and I'm going to use real numbers here, so stay with me. Say you're 35 years old, you earn $70,000 a year, and you want to retire at 65 with the ability to maintain something close to your current lifestyle. Using the widely accepted 4% withdrawal rule, which says you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year without running out of money over a 30-year retirement, you need roughly 25 times your annual expenses saved up. If you're spending $50,000 in retirement, that's $1.25 million. If you're spending $60,000, that's $1.5 million. Now you might be thinking, okay, but compound interest does the heavy lifting, right? Yes, it does. But here's the catch. To hit $1.25 million in 30 years, assuming a 7% average annual return, You need to be investing roughly $1,100 a month every month for 30 years. That's not 6% of a $70,000 salary. That's closer to 19%. Nobody told you that. Nobody puts that number on a poster in the break room next to the 401k enrollment form. So what do you actually do with this? Because I'm not here to just depress you. I'm here to give you a real roadmap. The first thing you have to do is kill the vague target and replace it with a specific number. Sit down this week and calculate your actual retirement number using the 4% rule. Take what you expect to spend annually in retirement, multiply it by 25, and write that number down somewhere you'll see it. It stops being abstract the second it becomes specific. The second thing is to audit what you're actually on track for. Most 401k plan providers have a projected balance tool. Run it, use your current contribution rate and see what it spits out. Then compare that to your real number. The gap, however uncomfortable, is your most important piece of financial information. The third thing is to find one lever to pull. Maybe that's increasing your contribution rate by 2% this year. Maybe it's opening a Roth IRA and maxing it out at $7,000 annually. Maybe it's building a taxable brokerage account for flexibility. You don't have to fix everything at once, but you have to start pulling levers on purpose, not just letting the default settings run your financial future. Here's the thing about the retirement myth. It's not that people are lazy or irresponsible. Most people are genuinely trying. They're doing what they were told. The problem is that they were handed a system designed for a world that no longer exists, told it was enough, and never given the real math. And that's not a personal failure. That's an information problem. But now you have the information, which means from this point forward, it is a choice. And the people who retire with real freedom and real options aren't the ones who made more money than everyone else. They're the ones who looked at the uncomfortable numbers early enough to actually do something about them. Future you is worth the discomfort. Start the math today.